It's Damon on the beat.
Welcome back. How are we all doing? Hope you're all well. Okay, so I've been bringing you a series of sparring videos, and I'm going to continue on that theme with today's video. So this is again Andrew sparring. There's also Marcel sparring in this as well, and this shows the different opponents that Andrew went through before camp, and also with a little bit of Marcel as well. There are some people in here that you know, obviously big Luke Barnett, and there's a couple of other people in there in the video that you'll actually recognize, Warren being one of them as well. And this is just the whole sparring camp, so to speak, or some of the people that were involved in the sparring camp. And it just gives you just different elements of how Andrew had to adjust, how Marcel adjusted to sparring prior to obviously going into the ring. Okay, so without further ado, I'm just gonna go straight into the video because this is quite a long video, so we're just gonna go straight in. But before we do, guys, don't forget to like, share and subscribe, leave your comments. We still have got the competition going. It is going to run until what we're on now. We're on 26. So end of Feb, I'm just going to pick a winner. I'm going to pick someone and just give them this stuff because this stuff's sitting in there and it's putting a hole in my brain. It's not necessarily putting a hole in my brain, but it's playing on my brain. So I'm just going to give it out. And those guys that have actually interacted, those guys that have actually watched, those guys that actually do leave a comment are the ones that are going to get this stuff that I'm going to give away. I will message you and speak to you or reply to a message and ask you for either an Instagram handle or somewhere that I can contact you so I can give this stuff to you. Okay? Right, so going to get straight into the video. Excuse me. Okay, so excuse me. First, we have big Luke Barnett. Now, Luke was called into the camp because Luke is a friend, good friend of Andrew's, good friend of obviously the team. Luke and Andrew fought many years ago. If you know the history of these two, they fought many years ago. One of Andrew's first MMA fights. One of Andrew's first MMA fights was with Luke. And Andrew won that, but they've been friends ever since. Oh, she's mosquitoes. They've been friends ever since. And Luke got brought into the camp to give a different element to Andrew's camp because of the size of this guy. He's like 6'7", something like that, 6'8". He's huge, long range, heavy, 110, 115 kilograms, maybe even 120 kilograms of mass. So it's just basically he's just actually coming in here with it. You could see his range is super long. So Andrew needed this. And then Andrew needed a skilled person that would actually come in. Now, it just transpires that obviously the person that he fought wasn't actually as skilled as this guy. If he was as skilled as this guy, then it would have been a different element. Again, I've previously mentioned about leaning over the person, putting his body weight on there. This is something that Luke didn't do because Luke's more of a skilled technician. Okay, so he's looking to actually score, keep away, use his range, do all the things that a fighter would generally do, a proper fighter would generally do. Not saying that Chase was not a proper fighter, but there's levels, okay? And, you know, without sounding disrespectful, because obviously I respect every single fighter that goes in the cage or ring and does the element of work, he is not as technically versed as pretty much most of the fighters on this video. One would, yeah, I mean, I don't think there's any disagreement with that, so I think I've just been bitten already. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. He's not really technically versed, he is more rough around the edges. Let's not, you know, he will get better, but he's more rough around the edges. But this is the first round anyway. Okay, and you can see Luke can change stance. You know, it's very, very technical there. It's a good shot from Andrew coming back off the jab. And you're gonna see there's a few rounds of this. You can see when Andrew actually finds his range, finds his movement. And this is about adapting to situations that you're actually in as well. So you can see how technical Luke is and making it harder for him. I suppose if Luke was like raw and rough around the edges, I suppose that would have made it easier to anticipate what was going to happen in the fight that happened, really, to be fair. But it wasn't, it was technical. And when you look at technical ability, how you move, there you go, good counter. How you move, how you react, how you move around the ring, your stance, everything, you know, there's differences in both. This was just one of many sparring sessions that these two had. Because obviously Andrew had to get used to the height, the range, distance, his own distance, the movement, what he needed to do. And you know, the more you spar with a person, and I think I said this in previous videos, the more you spar with a person, the more you kind of get to know their traits, their movements. What they tend to do all the time, how you can catch them. Whether they like pressure, whether they don't like pressure. What they leave open. It's a great jab there, great cross there. So you can see where Andrew's range is. Andrew's range is like a step inside of his, but then, you know, he's got to be careful of the counter. Luke's trying to keep him at range, keep him at distance. See, he has to step in to actually to counter, and then on the inside he's there. You can see he's like looking a step inside it. Luke's catching it very well because Luke's like, again, Luke's skilled.
It's Damon on the beat.
I know Andrew would have come away from this thinking, he hit me like 5 times in one round. Like, he needed to do this better. I need to do this better. I need to do this better. This is the 3rd round anyway. It's a good shot there. He's very good at moving back, and then like, I put this in one of my other videos where I was doing the same exercise with Marcel. Okay, you throw your jab cross, or you stand, you take a half step back, and as you're taking a half step back, that person comes in and you just throw something, whether it be a jab, whether it be a cross. And again, they're not expecting it. Andrew does this so perfectly, and he'd done this a couple of times. You might have seen it already, but he'd done this a couple of times. It just goes to show, I know what I'm talking about. Well, after 20 years experience, then I should do, really, to be fair. And after studying the art of boxing and the sport, I'm not really an MMA guy. I'll hold my hands up, I'm not really an MMA guy. I don't really do MMA because I don't really like it that much, but any other combat sport I'm kind of into. I think Luke took a shot there. Then whether it's a short, I kind of missed it, I don't know whether it's a short cross or short jab or maybe even a body shot. I know Luke got his ribs hurt in multiple sparring sessions. So once you get caught now, no, he's still firing, he's still in there firing. Yeah, body shot. So there's another body shot. So he caught him body shot, caught him another body shot again. He has to breathe. These guys are on 16-ounce gloves. So Luke's a big unit. Just goes to show how hard Andrew actually does hit. I love the way these guys just change stance so seamlessly as well. Back into orthodox.
It's Damon on the beat.
See, everybody's different. So you're gonna see like different people come in to spar. Everybody's different, and this is when I say to you guys, like,
It's Damon on the beat.
when you are training for a fight, do go in and spar if your coach allows it. Do go in and spar with different people. Understand, like, there's so many different styles out there. People have different styles. This gentleman here, again, high guard, proper boxing stance. But smaller than Andrew, so he has to step in and commit. But it's the speed of Andrew. When you have to commit, you have to commit to him. You have to make him think. Andrew's too comfortable here. Again, I'm not too sure what level this gentleman is, but you know, it doesn't really make a difference from ground, from amateur, below amateur, novice, to all the way high skill level. It's good because the novice skill levels are unorthodox, so you don't know what they're going to come with. The higher level fighters, you know, their skill set is a lot higher. So they're faster, they're quicker, their movement's better. So it just gives it, it's just a totally different element. So again, good to spar with multiple different styles. It doesn't matter whether they're amateur. If they are amateur, if they are professional, it doesn't really make a difference. You can still work on different things that you need to work on, so you don't get, you know, so you're aware of everything that's involved. I think you saw he just got caught with a right hand there. Just gonna pause it, put him in his tracks. Pause him in his tracks, should I say.
It's Damon on the beat.
Good, it's great turning the opponent there.
8,
That's body shot.
7, 6,
It's Damon on the
Perfectly
beat.
placed body shot.
4, 3, let's go.
Okay, on to the next one. So we have Big Warren here and Andrew. So you can see the rounds that he actually done. He put in so many different rounds. And again, every single person is different. But again, it's about taking the center stage. So when you're in the center of the ring, you feel just that little bit more, you feel that little bit kind of stronger, you feel like you're in control. It's my ring, it's my house, so you have to come to me. I think with me and Andrew spar, it's a battle of who's going to take the center. He wants to push me back, I want to push him back. You know, it's I can't wait to spar again, actually. We haven't sparred until, or done any form of like boxing or anything else, whether it be body shots or anything, since the fight. Gosh, yeah, it's been like December, and it stopped. So it's gonna be good to get back into it again. Anyway, back onto this. Okay, you can see energy reserves as well. So this is where taking the center of the stage is like the dominant position, where you can control. Some really good shots there. Where you can control because you're not using as much energy. So he'll take 2 steps to Andrew's 1, or 3 steps to Andrew's 1, and you can see he's moving around a lot, trying to get away. And if he was in the center of the ring, he would be dictating the pace.
Damon on the beat.
So Andrew here is dictating the pace. So he can back off if he wants to, or he can put the pressure on if he wants to. Okay? Look, and he walks around, and you know, the 4 or 5 steps that he made to Andrew's 2, 3, once they accumulate, they make a difference. They make a difference to your energy levels, and you know, if you're constantly in pressure, or if you're constantly under pressure, then you feel it so much more. Your breathing becomes more intense. That's a good round. Again, another different boxer. Again, bigger guy. This guy is probably a 6'3", 6'4", I would imagine. Probably around at between the 95 to 105 kilogram mark. Quite low on his feet. Another heavyweight. Getting these sparring sessions are not hard. These are more kind of like your whole technical sparring, because there was many rounds, and obviously we're not going in to take off people's heads. We're just going in to work the whole technical ability of it. Again, just, I mean, with one round with a person, you kind of just have to quickly adapt. So within a minute, you just have to just kind of know whether put that person where you want it to put him, or just basically just adapt really quickly. After 2 or 3 rounds, you kind of get to know where that person's going to move, how that person's going to move. One round, you know, you just have to read from the downloaded process information first minute, and then just basically do your thing. guys. Don't forget to like,
It's
share,
steaming on the
and
beat.
subscribe. I appreciate all your support, and I'm trying to say this while I'm watching this as well. I appreciate all your support, and again, don't forget there is a competition, and I will be giving away stuff. There we go. Good shots. I mean, guys, let's just look at it. What channel brings you live action like this from this person, from us, from our team? No one. So it's the only channel that's going to give you like this. And I know there's other kind of kickboxing channels and Muay Thai channels that give you live sparring. I give you live boxing of people on the ground. This is not like your whole big professional USIC, you know, your high pay-per-view ones. This is just like your normal people trying to make their way in boxing from your amateur levels, from your from your novice, intermediate, amateur level, pro boxing level. These are the guys that you might be watching in a few years' time. Who knows? Not only that, obviously, it's from our team as well. So, you know, you follow our team. So, why not follow it all the way through? Because this is what we do. And what's the word I'm looking for? We kind of encourage people to do some form of combat sport, to do some form of boxing, to do some form of kickboxing, to get in the gym. Do you know what I mean? This is us. So I don't understand why you guys are not following my channel. Anyway, moving on. This is Marcel and Warren. So this all happened in there. So we're trying to get, this is really, really good for Marcel as well. Bearing in mind, this is what, 3 weeks, I believe, into his camp. And this is when, I believe I've done a video on this previously with Marcel sparring this gentleman, and how good Marcel was in this. He was very sharp, very quick as he is. He can move.
That's a good. Downstairs, upstairs. Jab downstairs, go upstairs. Jab downstairs, go upstairs. That's a good cell.
And against a person that has been boxing for, you know, a number of years, professionally boxing, training pretty much every day, to against someone that has actually, again, styles make fights, different abilities, give you different problems. Marcel's novice. This gentleman is just above, it's like kind of intermediate amateur, This is why it's good to spar with all different types, because you just don't know what's going to come. You know, Marcel's got nothing to lose, so he's got to generally go for it. Obviously, apart from his jaw.
Good cell.
Yeah, these are really, really good shots. This is a really, really good round from him. Like the pressure that he's putting on, the jab that he's using. His hands are nice as well, to a point. Yeah, his hands are nice, they're there. He's relaxed. You know, obviously this is Marcel in fight camp, so you know there was a few things that he needed to brush up on. But as far as this goes, for 3 weeks in, this is really, really good. See the pressure, that little step back there and then throw. Again, saw Andrew do it. Now you see Marcel there. until kind of like Marcel going through that. I taught him to actually, he was doing it on literal pads. And again, if you watch previous videos, you'll see that that's a great shot there as well. Okay, back for another round. This is round 2 of those. And the funny thing was that
That's good. Love picture.
the guys on the side, again, if there's no music in this, I'll double check it. If there's no music in this, I'll increase the volume, because you actually hear the guys on the side saying, "No, this is actually a really, really good matchup. Let them go again," and that's what influenced them to having another round, because it was generally a good matchup. So really, Warren had to kind of step up the pace. Do you know what I mean? And you got to think, Marcel's 3 weeks in, Warren's 3 years in. So this is actually a really, really good match on there. And I don't know whether Warren was kind of holding back a little bit, whether, you know, Warren had good days and Warren had bad days, and that obviously not taking anything away from him. He had good days, he had bad days. But I don't know what was going through his mindset at this point in time. But at this point, in this round, that was a really good shot from Warren. Told Marcel to keep his hands up. That was a really good shot back from there. You know, at this point, at this time, then, you know, whether he made Marcel look good, whether he could have done more. Like, me personally, if I'm getting caught by him, I'm catching him back. I'm making him work. Like every single round I done with Marcel, I made him work. Made him work to hit me on it, and everything that he hit me with was worked from him. He understood what I was doing, or he took what I was doing, and this is where Warren's kind of stepping up a little bit now. Yeah, now Warren's turned it on a little bit now. He's thought, nah, I need to make something now. See Marcel standing there with his hands down. This is just one of the bad traits about. And now he puts it back up when he gets hit. And then he freezes, he pauses. It's like thinking too much, just throw. And don't swing. I think that's what I'm thinking.
There you go, nice. Downstairs as well, come on. Yes. Across. There you go.
Good
Yeah,
shot.
nice, Sal. Keep going.
I think there's a load of shouting at Marcel now to put the work on. Again, this video is down, so we'll hear the true commentary on that one. And then we're back into, I think this gentleman's name was Sam, and obviously he was in camp. He was due to fight, but didn't get to fight on the show that was happening, that was Warren was on previously, which was Fight Gecko, or was it Misfits? I'm not too sure. Sam's got some previous experience, but wanted to go in there and you know, do what he could do. I mean, it's always good to spar with someone with like Andrew's ability, because he's very unorthodox, very changey stancey, like tricky, fast, powerful. So it's nothing but experience. And this one, Andrew's super comfortable. You can tell, super comfortable. Yeah, that's a good shot there. You know, most of the fighters that get hit freeze. Like, prime example, the round before when Marcel got hit, he froze and didn't throw because he's scared of what's coming back. Same with this gentleman here. Like, his whole game plan from what he wanted to do, like if he jabbed then, double jab, stepped in. You know, like he's now sitting there waiting, anticipating him getting punched by the other person, as opposed to You know, you doing your thing. Do you know what I mean? You're scared of what's going to come back because you know it's sharp. Jab to the body. Like, keep your hand up. Like, you're standing there. You're standing in front of your opponent with your hands down, like waiting for them to punch you. All they're doing is sizing you up. They're like 5-10 points ahead of you, and they're having fun. Okay, so you've got to get the points back. But stand in front of your opponent with your hands down. It's like inviting them to actually hit you. Keep your hands up, keep moving, like keep throwing sharp punches, like bang, bang. Even just throwing something that's gonna put them off their rhythm. Like, he's not doing, look, he's standing back there and he's standing there like this. And he's not throwing anything back. So the minute you're not throwing anything back, I mean, and just winning this with the jab. Okay, on to the next one. So I'm gonna get the name of this gentleman because I actually like it. So I'm gonna put the names, if I remember all of them, on the titles before, obviously, the intro of the sparring. But obviously this is Warren, and this gentleman that I met, I actually really like him. He's actually a really cool boxer. Look how his skill set is. He's slick, he's fast, his feet are good. What, like, and he's so relaxed. See, this is the thing, this is control. His jab's so long as well. He works himself back into the center of the ring. Stays there. A short round there, but yeah, it's good. And then Marcel and this gentleman. The thing with this gentleman here against Marcel, because of his skill set, was he's like levels. This guy is levels. I'm gonna remember his name, but this guy's levels. So you can see, like, he let Marcel take the center of the stage, and he kind of just kind of reacted because you know he could have done a lot more. But this is the good thing about boxers that have control, or fighters generally that have that element of control. They can allow things to happen to let the person open up and try and catch them. And this is where it goes to working on other things. Okay, if you know that you're better than the other person in the ring, what's the point in going in there and hammering them and taking them out? What are you gonna learn? Nothing. Okay, if you take it to example, okay, cool, this person I know it's a lower level than me, and I know I can do a lot of damage. But am I going to do a lot of damage? No. I'm going to practice on my defense. So I might just throw the odd shot, and I'm going to practice on defense. Or I'm going to practice on foot movement. I'm going to practice on being totally elusive. Yeah? Or, which I've just done previously, just use one hand. What I'm going to use is jab. I'm not going to use my left hand, my right hand. I'm just using my jab, and I'm going to pop my jab, and I'm going to pop my jab, and I'm going to pop my jab, and I'm going to move, and I'm going to pop my jab. And I know I've done that before. Because it also helps you as well to improve a skill set that you wouldn't normally use if you're coming up against a guy of your ability, if that makes sense. So when you're improving it, when you're practicing it like that, then it can only become better, and you'll only use it like more, and it again developing muscle memory. So you can see he's only really using his jab, and he's just literally flicking it out there, just to stop his movement. But that was a good round. It was a very, very good round. And this gentleman, I don't really know his name. I'm going to try and find out his name, but I like his style. He's very moody, he's very smooth, he's very fluid. Like, his defense is good. Again, you know, he's up against someone a lot taller than him, so he has to adapt to that. But you can see he adapts quite well. But then when you see him against someone his own size, he's like a different beast. But I just kind of like him. I just like his style. Just, do you know what I mean? He's like, whenever I watch him spar, I mainly watch him spar with Warren. But I kind of like him. I like how he punches. He's very controlled. His movement's good. Okay, I don't think there's one person that's had taken a center with Andrew. You know, more than, I don't know, 30 seconds to 45 seconds of a round. This is the kind of pressure. This is where, if me and Andrew were sparring, it will be a battle to fight, because I don't mind stepping in and trying to take that center and pushing him back, making him have to think on his back foot. You can see this gentleman's footwork is just nice. He's trapped himself in the corner there, but then he moves out, changes stance. But you can see how controlled he is. Like, he's always trying to throw. Okay, cool, he gets caught a couple of shots as he's moving back because he didn't kind of anticipate the range that Andrew had. But always moving, ducking, he's never static, he's always, you know what I mean? It's a good shot there, a little tap back. You know what I mean? I just like that. Moving, even when he's like back here. Andrew's sharp and he's very quick, so do you know what I mean? You can kind of, okay, if he moves that way, he's going to come back that way. Good round. I love watching that guy spar. Here's another one. We have round 2. Because I think Andrew probably enjoyed sparring him as well. And he's, this guy is, I gotta find out his name. But I like him. Really, really humble guy. Super humble guy, super nice. Kind of quiet, just does his work. For a low kick there, low kicks aren't allowed. You can see he's kind of pushing the pace a little bit as well. He's kind of forcing the pace. Not scared of the odd shot, you know. And he's throwing and he's moving and he's throwing. If he's not throwing, he's moving. If he's not moving, he's throwing. And then there's both of them at the same time. Really, really good. I don't know what his career status was, his amateur career status was. But again, this is just to show you the different elements or the different people that he actually sparred with. That's a good shot there. The different element and the different people that he actually sparred with. You know, small, tall, high, medium, big, slim, like everyone. Now when you get smaller people, his Andrew speed comes into play here. Then obviously speed and power for the big guys. So I just got caught watching that. You know, is the speed mimicked with the big guys? Or they tend to be slower? You know, these smaller guys tend to be a little bit quicker. Lighter guys tend to be quicker, throw more punches. So it makes you have to want to match them with punches thrown. Or if you don't at least match them, you match them on accuracy. So you might throw, I don't know, 20% less punches, or so 10% less punches, but they're all accurate, they're all on the button. Brandon, hello Brandon. In my way, Brandon. Thank you. I'll move that way. Big Luke!
Barnett,
Hello
you've
Luke.
got a Barnett.
I'm going to show you this one.
You've got a Barnett. Was your Barnett getting in your way of your boxing play?
100%.
I was going to say that halfway through.
It's the first
Barnett's got a Barnett.
Amazing hair.
First time I've ever boxed with hair, because I used to shave it when I was fighting back in the day and keep it short. And then I grew it for the last 2 fucking years, and then Andrew has a fight camp. So now I've got to fight again with long hair.
Barnett's got a Barnett.
Barnett's got a Barnett.
Okay, and then we go back in. So this gentleman, I believe, has a lot more experience. So I just take it from a different angle. Because I think there's other people over in that corner there. Get a better shot because I think this guy's a little bit taller as well. So I caught this from this angle. Because I was recording over there, then like we kind of stopped and then it came back in again. So I do apologise obviously about the angle of that road speed in the way. Okay, better angle here. So I was watching that, sorry, I got totally involved into that. We're coming towards the end of the video anyway, and as I always say, don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Thank you very much for all your support. Thank you very much for watching. Enjoy the rest of the video. Don't forget there's a competition, and I've mentioned before on previous videos what you need to do for the competition. So don't forget, like, share, subscribe, leave a comment, giving away loads of stuff. Thank you very much again for watching. Take care.